here at the Wunderman Thompson offices in London to hear about one of their latest products, Resolve. I'm going to be chatting to Gemma Charatan to get all the details. Let's go find her. In 2023, brands and advertisers will see one of the biggest changes to online advertising in a generation. Essentially, the technology that's made it possible to follow consumers around the web is going away. Brands won't have access to the same third-party data that they've been using to target individuals and drive online sales, and marketers are already starting to feel the impact that this will have. This will bring a huge step change in the way that customer data is collected and used, and presents a real opportunity for forward-thinking brands to step up and show their customers that they care about their privacy. Today, I'm talking to Gemma Charatan, who's already helping brands tackle the downstream impact of the coming and imminent changes. We'll be talking about Resolve, a Wunderman Thompson solution that helps brands rise to this challenge. Welcome, Emma.
Thanks so much for having me.
Amazing. So before we get stuck in, I hear that you recently found yourself in a situation where a solution like Resolve could actually have really helped enhance your customer experience. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I moved flats a year ago, and since then I've been in the process of kind of refurnishing. So I've spent a lot of time on various furniture websites, not always with the intention of buying immediately, but often just to do research or to look for inspiration and so on. And so from the brand's perspective, I'm actually quite a hot prospect because I'm an engaged repeat customer. And if they could recognize that it was me visiting every single time I come to the website, there would be a lot that they could learn about who I am as a customer and my preferences and so on. The difficulty is that probably they're actually not able to recognize me because I'm behaving in ways that are very typical of customers where, I'm not logged in, I'm using lots of different devices, I'm visiting at infrequent intervals so that the first-party cookie is likely to have eroded. And this means that, for the brand, rather than seeing the truth, which is that I am one very engaged customer who's on a journey with the brand, instead, they're likely just to be seeing a bunch of disconnected events. And that's a real lost opportunity, both to engage with me in a personalized way, but also to make sense of and utilize all of that data that's being generated. And so this is one of the core problems that Resolve is designed to help with.
So tell me about Resolve. How does it work?
Yeah, so historically, the way that brands have identified and recognized customers has been through kind of single proofs of identity. So this could be a cookie, or it could be a customer logging in or clicking through from a CRM email. And that's obviously a great basis for identification. The problem with it is that it's very difficult to scale because for a lot of brands, the vast majority of customers who are engaging are not logging in or able to be identified in that way. And actually what we see is very often it's less than 1% of customers engaging with the brand's website that will actually be identifiable. So what Resolve is doing is it's applying AI to this problem. So it's essentially an algorithm that looks at a brand's consented first-party data in aggregate to find patterns in the ways that consumers are engaging so that it can recognize consumers in the way that humans do, using lots of different data points rather than a single point of identity. And so this allows brands to better recognize both their existing customers who they have an email on, but also repeat visitors. And so that allows them to both personalize the experiences for those customers, but also to better utilize data, not only for those customers that they can tie back to an email, but actually for that whole ocean of customers that are actually engaging with them.
So it might sound like an obvious question for this sort of solution, but is it safe from a privacy perspective?
Yeah, so this is definitely the key question. And privacy was really a first principle when it came to building and designing Resolve. So what's very unique about Resolve, and the reason that it's so privacy safe, is that in order for the solution to work, none of the brand's sensitive customer data is ever moved or shared with any other entity whatsoever, not even Wunderman Thompson. So the solution is actually deployed and it runs completely locally within the brand's own private cloud environment, which they have total and sole control over. So there is no third-party entity that's getting access to that data. And that's actually really unusual because the common setup that we see at the moment is that brands who are wanting to get this customer recognition or do this predictive modeling, they basically have to upload their first-party data to an external platform. So Resolve is basically allowing you to do all of that and get all of that really great insight, but actually without having to ever share your sensitive data and allowing you to keep control over that data.
So this sounds like a great product, but imagine I already have some customer experience technology. Maybe I have a customer data platform or a data management platform, or indeed any other marketing platform. Does Resolve work alongside that existing technology? How does it all kind of come together?
Yeah, definitely. So this was another really key principle for Resolve, which is that it should be an open platform. So you can kind of think of Resolve as a booster. So it actually enhances and amplifies the existing kind of CDP or platforms or solutions that a brand already has, because it's basically unifying the data and building new predictive insights so that those platforms can fulfill their own functions more effectively. Whether that's web personalization or customer profile enrichment or activation. So it's basically boosting all of the functionality that platforms are already doing.
This, of course, sounds great, and I can imagine would work amazing for a brand that has a current loyalty program or perhaps have customers that log in a lot. But what about brands that don't see a lot of that direct-to-customer engagement? How is Resolve still something that can work for them?
Yeah, so we actually have another product in development, which will be really relevant for brands who maybe don't have all of that direct customer interaction and who are more reliant on paid media. So whereas the current version of Resolve that we've talked about today is very focused on driving customer experiences and predictive insights in brands' owned channels, the next sort of iteration of Resolve, which is called Resolve Signals, will be about harnessing the same AI technology and these same privacy principles to activate audiences in cookieless media. And we probably don't have time to go into that, in a lot of detail right now, but basically what this is allowing brands to do is to find and reach their best audiences in paid media, but again, without ever sharing data or relying on third-party cookies.
So for any marketers that are watching this and thinking, I want to get a piece of the action with Resolve and start thinking about implementing it alongside their own technologies, what would be your thoughts on how to get started?
Just get in touch with us. So you can email us at resolve@wundermanthompson.com, and we'd always be extremely happy to hear from anyone who's interested and to schedule an initial chat about how Resolve could be of benefit to your brand or your client.
Amazing, Emma. Thanks so much for coming and joining us and talking about Resolve today.
Thanks so much.